So we welcome to the show and on board Monty Norman. Monty, good morning.
Hi, I'm glad to be here.
Fantastic. Now, a proud Londoner, first of all. Yes?
Very much so, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I was born about 3 miles away from the Olympic Village at the Olympic Stadium. And when I did that thing with the Queen,
Yeah.
when she jumped out of the helicopter and they played my music.
What have you
I
thought all those years
I
ago in the East End of London that you'd be involved in that?
No, there was no way of knowing that.
Yeah.
No.
Well, from early beginnings, of course, a lot of people don't know that of your early singing career. You know, with a big bands such as Ted Heath and
That's
Stapleton
right.
and Temple and.
For 10 years I was a singer, as you say, with all the big bands, which is still my first love, music. And I did a lot of solo singing as well, working with all the top comedians, the Goons, you know, Peter Sellers, Spike Milligan.
Great names, great names.
You know, so many, I could just go on.
And then, of course, James Bond came into your life.
Yes.
Tell us about where the seeds and where that all started.
Well, that's remarkable, really, because I was producing and writing a show called Bell or the Ballad of Dr. Crippen. Now, Dr. Crippen was the murderer who was still in the Chamber of Horrors. And it was the first time, decades before anyone else had tried this sort of musical. There was no Phantom of the Opera or Sweeney Todd or anything like that. And of course the critics just didn't know what to do with it. And when critics don't know what to do with it, they murder the murderer, which was a shame. But luckily for me, the main financial backer was Cubby Broccoli. And he said to me, he was furious at the way we'd been treated. He said, one of these days we'll do something together. And I thought, well, that's very nice. It's a kind of showbiz thing. And you think maybe he's right, maybe not. About a couple of months later, he rang me and said, come and meet my new partner, Harry Saltzman. And when I got there, he said, we've just acquired the rights of Ian Fleming's James Bond novels, and we're going to turn them into films. The first one's going to be Dr. No. Dr. No.
Dr. No, 62.
Dr. No, yeah. And would you like to do the score? And I was very busy at that time, so I was just about to try and use some cliches of saying, could you give me a couple of days to think about it? When Harry said, look, he said, we're doing all the location work in Jamaica. He said, why don't you come out there, do some of the Jamaican music, get to know everybody, bring your wife, all expenses paid.
Well, that's a nice offer.
That was the clincher. It's crazy to think that I did that Dr. No because of the Jamaican trip.
Fantastic. And when you first put that famous riff together, how did that come up?
Well, that comes from a stage musical. This one didn't go on. It was supposed to be the follow-up of Irma la Douce, and my colleague Julian Moore and I wrote a first draft of something called A House for Mr. Biswas, which is a novel by V.S. Naipaul. And when we got towards the end, we suddenly realized that this was crazy, because at that time, we're talking about the beginning of the 60s, it would be impossible to get an all West Indian, all Asian cast.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So we abandoned it. And there was one number in it that I thought, you know, this is good, but we'll put it in the bottom drawer and forget about it. Anyway, jumped to working on Dr. No. I had other ideas, but this one, I suddenly thought of this little melody, and I dug it out, and it was sort of very Indian, with accompanied by sitar and tabla. And it went, I was born with this unlucky sneeze, and what is worse, I came into, you get the picture?
Yeah,
so, and I thought, this is quite nice, but it isn't right yet. I mean, coming from the theatre, I was always interested in character. And so I split the notes, and immediately it became dum diddy dum 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 dum. The moment I heard that, I mean, I had the same reaction, I suppose, that most people do have when they hear it. And I thought, this is absolutely perfect for James Bond. It has his character, the attack, all the qualities that you want, you know, the sexiness, everything. And writing the rest of the number was organic.
And of course then I think it's become probably one of the most iconic theme tunes, I think, in film history, I think.
Absolutely, and there's no way that anybody could have known that. And in fact, when I went to see Cubby and Harry that day, as I was coming out of the office, one of their assistants took me to the front door, and he said, "See if you can write a good theme." He said, "Because I reckon we got 2 films and a television series out of this."
2 films and a television series, and 25 films and 50 years later. Yeah. So now Skyfall, 50 years on, and you're still heavily involved. And the premiere of Skyfall in London, of course, that was a massive evening, and you got a massive standing ovation when you came out.
Yeah, yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah,
but it was nice because the whole thing was set up so well. You know, I won't say how it works, because when you see the film, you'll know. But it was really, really very, very good. They did a really good job. Terrific film.
Well, thank you for taking the time to come and see us this morning, and I hope Rena and your friends Doug and Margaret are enjoying the transatlantic crossing experience here on Queen Mary 2, and she's a wonderful ship, isn't she?
Yeah, oh, it's marvellous. I've never been on a cruise, neither has Rena, but we'll certainly do it again. And I'd like to thank Captain Opry and the whole crew for getting us out of New York at that moment.
Yes, absolutely. It was.
If it was a film, I'd write a theme for it.
Thank you so much, Monty, for being on the show this morning. I hope you continue to enjoy each and every nautical mile as we head across to Southampton.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with the morning show. Thank you.